Hi guys, I'm Becky Sauerbrunn and I'm here to answer your questions with SOCCER.COM. First question, what would you want to be if not a soccer player? If I weren't a soccer player, I think I would actually like to be a coach because I just love the game and I know that I want to be involved. And so if I'm not going to be a player and I want to stay involved, might as well be a coach. Favorite pregame meal? This might surprise people, but pancakes. And it's actually very popular with our national team that we always have pancakes pregame. And if not, that kind of feels kind of unlucky. And so sometimes we have to make special orders. We have to go out and find some, but always pancakes. Favorite soccer memory before becoming a pro? I think some of my favorite soccer memories actually are growing up in St. Louis, and we actually had kind of a pretty big backyard, and so lots of trees. And so I would kind of throw out chairs, jackets, shoes, anything, and I would use that as kind of my like dribbling obstacle course. And I just remember trying to get better and better times, or just being more and more clean on it. But that's one of my favorite memories, is just being in that backyard and just trying to be better and to get better. Specific reason you're number 4. Well, I'm number 4. And I've been very lucky because the 2 other people that have played number 4 on the national team, Carla Overbeck and Kat Whitehill, are actually 2 of kind of amazing center backs. And so it's a center back number. And I was really lucky that I kind of inherited that number because I think it has a really strong history with our national team. And it's also a perfect defender number, so it just kind of fit. Who was your role model growing up? Actually, one of the center backs that I just talked about, Carla Overbeck, she was someone that I really looked up to. I really started loving the game around 14 when I watched the 1999 Women's World Cup. And Carla Overbeck was a really big reason why they won that tournament. And I've been really lucky that throughout my career, I've actually got to meet her and have meals with her and kind of just pick her brain and get to know more about her because she's just an extraordinary person. And she was a captain of the national team, so she's got lots of stories. And so just kind of learning from her, and it's just someone that I really appreciate. Where do you see the future of women's football going? I see the future of women's football just going like this, just growing and growing and growing. And I think you see now that more teams are really investing in their women's side. And I think you see that because of that, they're doing better at these major tournaments. And so I think that other countries are going to get on board. And if they don't have a women's team, start one. And for the ones that they do have, just keep investing. And because I think you're going to see a return of that investment, definitely. And I think you've already seen that, how the women's game has grown so much. And there's still just so much potential for it. Did you ever have any major setbacks in your career, and how did you overcome them? I have. I've had a few, actually. I was cut from my first ever team around the age of 23. It was our youth national team. And the coach that I actually had at the time said, you're just not fast enough and you don't have a presence on the field. So for someone that's, just trying to kind of find their stride in their game, that's kind of harsh criticism to get. But, I took it to heart and I did everything that I could to counteract that. And so, not being fast, I tried to be smarter and make sure I didn't have to rely on speed, that I could rely on my brain. And then with presence, just finding those ways that you can make an impact in the game. And so I found my way back with the national team, and then I get back with the national team, the senior team, and I got cut from the senior team. And so I was actually put back with the 23s. And so it took about 2.5 years for me to get back with the senior team. And I kind of coined that time being in the wilderness, because it's just that unknown, are you going to make it? Are you not going to make it? But I persevered and I endured and I tried to get better. And fortunately for me, I got a second chance and I made the most of it. Which book are you reading right now? Well, that's an excellent question. I'm rereading the Golden Compass trilogy, and they're just making it into a show. So that's really exciting. But it's one of those trilogies that I go back and read because it's just excellently written, the most of it. Brings me back to a different time, and it's kind of fun to have like that kind of trilogy that makes it feel nostalgic. Would you consider writing a book of your own one day? Those are great questions. I would write a book. I don't think it would be very good, and I don't know what genre it would be. Part of me kind of wants to write fiction where it's soccer related, but I travel to all these different countries, but I'm actually a spy for the United States as I'm traveling into these countries doing these like covert operations. I don't think that's going to be very good. And part of me also wants to write a tell-all about being on the national team and kind of the stuff that we have to go through that a lot of people don't see every day. And if I had to pick a character to play me in a movie, Jennifer Lawrence, Elizabeth Banks, I think those two would be pretty solid. Best advice for someone starting to play soccer. Wow. I would say make mistakes and be okay making mistakes and know that you're only going to get better. You just learn from your mistakes. Don't keep making the same mistake because that will become a problem. But don't be afraid to try things. Don't be afraid to push your boundaries because I think you need to discover more about yourself and you do that by making mistakes. Why does a new Predator cleat suit your game? The new Predator is a control boot. And for me, I've always prided myself on the way that I play is always with control. And so both mentally and physically, having a boot that kind of encapsulates how you want to play and kind of gives you that extra edge of 10% more control or 10% more swerve on your long ball. That's something that I think kind of suits me, and so that's why it's perfect for my game. Hey guys, I'm Becky Sauerbrunn, and this is SOCCER.COM.